Hello. Why, hi there. Hello and welcome to a Flowcat stream. I'm here, you're here, and it's a great time. It's a great time to be here specifically. Welcome Count Saki, Nat, King Flame. I should be asleep. Well, I mean, I guess I'm working on something. So yeah, at least you're doing something, you know. But sleep is still good. Sleep is still important. I would recommend getting that. I wanted to dedicate this whole stream to basically just chatting. But also, I've had some life events happen recently that are very exciting. And I normally don't talk about my personal life very much, but I'm gonna be a lot more open on this stream about my personal life. Not like crazy open. Don't expect like to get my address or anything. But you know, like I want to talk about what's going on and what's going to be going on, because it will affect my streams and it will affect my content in a good way. But yeah, it's stuff that I think is important for people to know moving forward, and rather than just making a community post about it, I think it's better to just have a long form thing where, oh, at my chat, where'd my chat go? Chat. There you are. Hey Zaz, imagine me early in a Flowcat stream. Wow. Isn't that incredible? Welcome Zaz. That is actually incredible. This is a historic or an historic, whatever your preference, moment. And it's monumental to say the least. If you guys wouldn't mind dropping a like as we get started here, that would be great. Help boost it up, even though it doesn't really matter, I guess. Also, give me a second. I've got Discord link pinned in the YouTube chat if for some reason you're not there. You might be down in a few minutes because it's already 3 a.m. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, people can feel free to watch this as a VOD. I may change the title of it later. I'm not sure. But yeah, this can just sort of sit in my live stream section and can sort of function as, you know, a VOD for people to watch if they're curious about what's going on. And people that are here can ask questions or just, you know, bear witness to me opening up a smidgens on stream. But it's important because I'm excited for the future. And I think that my content will improve massively by the end of the year. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll give me a much better shot of making this work out. And I really want to do this. Like, it's so stupid to say when I'm like at 1,000 subscribers, but I really want to do this full time. Like, I would love to be a content creator and, you know, talk about my takes on video games and, you know, play Genshin with all of you and do all that stuff and make money doing it. That would be fantastic, but I understand that that's something that I have to earn. But anyway, so, okay. I don't know if I want to jump into the meat and potatoes of this, like, right off the bat, because, you know, there's only like 3 people here. I feel like some more people will probably show up in a little bit. This is an unusual time for me to be streaming, so I totally understand that there's like not many people here for that reason. This is not on my schedule. You know, this is not a scheduled stream. So yeah, how's everybody doing? Other than Count Saki sacrificing sleep, Zaz about to pass out. It's like 3 p.m. for me. So this is like the middle of the day for me. Boy. A boy. Anyway. No one responded. That's fine. Or maybe you did respond and there's just lag. Oh, it's 3 a.m. for you. Jeez, that's 12 hours apart. Isn't that crazy? Just waking up. Good morning, Frankie. But yeah. East Coast Twins here. Yeah, EST is a interesting time zone because it kind of feels like I'm sort of in the middle of everything. Like throughout my day, I've played a lot of MMOs when I was growing up, and it always felt like I would, you know, chat with Europe people, and then you chat with Asia people, and you chat with different people, and you just kind of in this weird time zone. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, time is weird. It's this bizarre thing. It doesn't make any sense. I get so messed up with time zones, to be honest. It's so hard to figure out what the hell is going on. To be honest, I'm fighting the whale team. You want to buy the BP and Welkin? Well, at least that's not like full whale. You know what I mean? At least, but I mean, do what you want. Do what you want. For me, I concluded after playing Star Rail for, you know, about a week, maybe almost 2 weeks. I was like, meh. Like, I mean, I really enjoyed the story. Definitely super enjoyed the story. Other than that, though, I felt like I was kind of just trying to get through the rest of the game to enjoy the story. Like, I really didn't enjoy the combat that much. Except for, like, there were some key moments where the combat was super cool. Like, some of the boss fights and stuff are like, oh, they're super cool. It feels like 90% of the combat is so boring. And even if you're like if you're super strong in Genshin, you just run around one-shotting enemies, and it takes 0 time and it takes 0 thought. You know, it doesn't interrupt your gameplay loop. But like, no matter how strong you are, because it's a turn-based RPG and it has the open field thing where you hit an enemy and it goes into a sequence and then they pop in, and then you like, even if it's a low-level enemy and you can one-shot them, you still have to like hit them and transition into the combat scene and then kill them in the combat scene and then transition out. And I know that they did a good job of making that less lengthy than other games. Like, I played a lot of Tales of games, and they have an ending sequence to the fight sequence where, you know, it's the victory sequence that you get in like Final Fantasy Tales of games, where the characters are just standing there like, you know, that whole thing. But I'm not gonna sing the song. Wow, I almost did. Anyway, yeah, so they cut that out, which it speeds things up, but that actually takes out some of the personality of the games. So I don't know. I'm not like a huge turn-based fan, so I don't have like a lot of solid critiques that I don't think that I can levy at them, other than that the fact that I don't really like turn-based combat that much. So it would be kind of like, don't do the thing that you're doing, which is stupid because people enjoy that. So I just much prefer the action-oriented combat. Plus, I love, for me, when I'm playing Genshin and I figure out a rotation and a series of reactions that I can pull off, and it just like, when all of that comes together, you feel good when you're able to execute it in combat. Like, I don't know, it feels a little more practiced, and I kind of like that aspect of learning rotations and team building and stuff with Genshin, is that it's like, you can theory craft the team and be like, oh, that would be theoretically really good, but then when you get into the actual work of planning your rotations, like your standard rotation versus like your maximum damage rotation versus, you know, like depending on your energy and your energy costs and your, you know, all that stuff, it just, yeah, it gets really interesting, I think. And I don't feel like a lot of that exists in Star Rail. I don't know how to explain it. To be honest, I still enjoy Star Rail. Been busy working on your Genshin account for the past few weeks. Yeah, I saw that you got Yoimiya. She's a lot of fun. I tried out a Yoimiya team with Karara. It was Kokomi, Fischl, Karara, Yoimiya, and it was really good. It was actually very good. See, the nice thing, this is something that's sort of underrated about Karara. Like, everyone's talking about how it's like she barely has any off-field application, but what I feel like it is, okay, with Sara, one of my favorite things about Sara is that her electro application is selective. So there are some teams where you don't want a lot of electro application because it'll mess up your other reactions that you're trying to do or whatever, or it'll eat up too much elemental gauge or whatever, or you need electro application in a specific part of a rotation but not another. With Sara on your team, you can effectively pick and choose where you want your elemental application, and she has good range, like good AoE on her electro application. Her burst has a really good AoE, really good application, and it's very selective. Like, you can have it or not have it, whereas if you have Fischl on your team, it's 100% she's blasting you with electro in your face, and there's no stopping it, right? Which can overwhelm certain teams that have a more delicate balance with the elemental gauge application in the teams. Like, yeah, if that makes sense. So Carrara is sort of like that for Dendro. She does have a good amount of Dendro application with her skill if you stay on field or if you use her burst. Pretty good Dendro application, but it's you can pick and choose, you know, except for the bombs. Those stick around. So that's sort of a little more of an RNG element, unless you have like a CC in your team where you can suck them all up and get them to blow up super fast. I prefer Genshin Impact for those reasons, but Wuthering Waves can't get so much to say. Oh my gosh, I know. I really want to play Wuthering Waves really badly. Oh, I really suck at covering, like they've been doing, like, you know, there's been the closed beta test and stuff, and I really wanted to cover the game, but I'm not good at this. I'm not good at even covering Genshin, so like I need to I had to get my priorities in check, but I definitely plan on playing the game a lot when it comes out, and if I am doing okay with my content creation, like I just need to be consistent and, you know, stuff with Genshin before I feel like I can take on other things. That way I can prove to myself that I can do it. Control can equal power depending on team comp. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's been like 16 minutes. Okay. I really want Wuthering Waves. Oh my gosh. You guys want to talk about life? You want to talk about things and stuff? Yeah, okay, well, I'll cut to the gist of it. I'm gonna try to be as transparent as possible without doxing myself. So that's basically what this is gonna be. So this is super exciting. I'm buying a house. And you may be wondering how I'm doing that, considering the fact that I only have 1,000 subs. And, you know, I'm obviously not making a lot of money off of it or anything. Well, I have a roommate, and as you may or may not have surmised over the past 6 months that I've had this roommate is my partner. So my partner makes good income. I have some money saved up from my youth when I worked way too much at a food job where I got paid well, but I put in a lot of hours. I put in some money back, so together we have the ability to afford a pretty nice house. And we're doing it. We're gonna buy a house. That being said, we already found a house this weekend. Okay. It's been super fast. We're in a rental right now. So this is like a condo rental thing. So we're renting from people who own a condo, which means that we had a lease with them, but it's not like having a lease with like an apartment residence complex. It's like a personal lease, you know. So we reached out to the landlords and we renegotiated our lease with them. We met with them in person and negotiated like out of a 2-year lease, which is what we were in, and moved it down to the point where we can essentially move as soon as we get a house. And this was weeks ago. This has been a process, right? So now, well, oh my God, everything's been moving so fast. I'm sorry, I'm trying to like process it. So, okay, so we met with the landlords, renegotiated, and then they hooked us up with a local realtor, and we were able to work with them, get pre-approved, and we went and we spent the whole weekend looking at houses, looked at a ton of houses, and we found one. It's beautiful. It's like everything that we could possibly want in a house. And I'm so excited because we put an offer down and it already got accepted, and it's moving. It's moving like it's crazy how fast this is happening. Yeah, so probably in like 2 or 3 months I will be in a permanent housing location. And the beautiful, here's where it connects to content creation. I will have an entire, this is for sure, I will have an entire room to stream and to make content in. I will have a personal studio that I can build up. I can put all of my, you know, fan decorations and things that people have sent me. I can hang that. I can frame stuff that, like, Haley sent me some stuff that I really want to frame. I can finally frame that and like put it up on a wall, have it nice and showed. I can like do lighting however I want. And the best part about it is that I will have the ability to make, so like right now I'm sharing a space. Like this is our gaming area. So like I can't stream all the time. The reason why I have to have a very set schedule is because I'm, you know, I can't just, if my partner also wants to game, you know, I can't just consume endless amounts of time down here or whatever. So I'm trying to be respectful, and it's been difficult because it's really limited, you know, just what I'm able to do. But that's just sort of a consequence of what is going on. In the new space, I will be able to stream more flexibly. I will have a more flexible streaming schedule, and I will be able to make content a little more easily and a little more freely, with a little less like stress on having to manage, you know, everything going. Like it'll make my life 10 times easier, and I feel like it'll improve the content too. I think it'll absolutely improve the content. That's good news. Oh, thanks everybody for the congratulations. Moving is both exhausting and exciting. It's good. Yeah, I've moved so many times in my adult life, like, because I've been renting up until this point, like continuously. So I've been in, oh my God, I've been in probably 8 different leases. So I've moved quite a number of times, you know, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting. I'm planning on potentially paying a mover. It's the good thing is the house is like 7 minutes from this condo. It's like 7 minutes from here. So it's actually the closest move I've ever done in my life. Like I will like literally, you just go out to I'm not gonna describe the directions to get there, but yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty exciting stuff. We're both very excited. Freddie is very excited. Freddie has no idea, but the house is huge. Should be great for the cats. And since it's not a rental, I will be able to do whatever I want with the house. Like I can put stuff on the walls for the cats to climb on and drill into the walls without any, you know, feeling like I'm gonna lose a safety deposit or whatever. Gosh, I hate renting. You can walk my stuff over. Yeah, it's so close. But I think for that reason, if I pay a moving company, and it's only like, it'll probably bring down the price a bunch, I hope. So we're gonna try to get some quotes on like a moving company and see if we can get some reasonable rates on movers. But yeah, I definitely don't want to do it myself. I'm sick of it. I'm too old for that nonsense, to be honest. I'm gonna play the age card. I will tell you this. I'm turning 30 this year. This is the year that I turn 30. Crossing that line, I will be out of my 20s in by the end of the year. Pay for movers, you're back. Well, thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, to be honest. Like, I don't even mind doing a lot of the packing. It's really just the furniture. Like, it's the couch. It's this massive beanbag chair we have over here. It's my desk. Like, it's all the big heavy stuff that, like, I'm not that in shape. Unfortunately, I'm not that in shape. So I don't want to like blow out my back trying to move a couch or anything like that. And when you're in your 20s, you can do that stuff. You can pick up stuff. You still have that like elasticity of youth, but it's at the second that you turn 30, all of that is gone. It is null and void. You have become a decrepit oldster, and everything about you starts to crumble. Everything within you starts to crumble. I'm kidding. I'm definitely kidding. But I don't want to move my stuff. Definitely don't want to do that. So yeah. What music is playing? I haven't been monitoring it at all. Oh, okay, that's nice. At least it won't bother me if that one random song plays that like always freaks me out when it plays, because it's just like so random. It just sounds like an old school cartoon. Anyway. Oh, I just saw King Flame's initial thing about Kazuha. Yeah, I'm excited that you're going for Kazuha. He's great. He's so good for a lot of team comps. And you know, that's one thing that like I feel like Animo lost a little value. It didn't lose value, but like in Dendro teams, there's negative synergy with with Animo. And so I feel like in a lot of Dendro teams, you don't want Animo, which is kind of interesting. It's nice that they like broadened the teams without making other teams bad. Like a lot of the Kazuha teams are still extremely powerful, but the Dendro teams keep up, or in some cases do even more damage. Hey Justin. So yeah, that's the news, is that I'm buying a house. That is the news, and I'm super excited for it. It'll be a good time. But the big point of it is that's why I didn't stream like this. I missed so many streams and I've been struggling to be consistent. Is this stuff has been moving at a breakneck pace, like unbelievably fast paced, moving full speed ahead, and it's just it's been a lot. Thought I was gonna be able to manage it a lot better, but I mean that's just kind of the nature of the beast. Like literally the house that we were looking at was listed for 4 days. Like it was on the market for 4 days, and it's not uncommon in the state that I live in for houses to sell within the first week of them being listed. Like if someone comes and sees the house, a lot of the times if you're already house shopping, like you're in a situation where you're ready to move on that house, like you have no trepidations, like you're trying to get a house, you have a budget ready, you're pre-approved, like you're trying to get something. And especially in the market that I live in, it's extremely fast paced. And so like we went out, we looked at houses, you know, we talked to the landlord, got that figured out, got a realtor, got pre-approved, went and looked at houses, found a house, put an offer up, setting everything up. It's a lot, but it's moving super fast, which is kind of crazy. If you guys wouldn't mind dropping a like on the stream, that would be fantastic. That would be very helpful, and I would love that very much. Oh, thank you very much. If you guys have any questions, you can ask. I can't give you like my address or anything. It's a beautiful house. I think I might try to do some sort of kind of walkthrough thing, or maybe not a full walkthrough, but like I want to share with you guys how beautiful this house is, but I don't want to dox myself. Though it's unfortunate, but it's okay. You'll at least get to see one room of the house, which is fine. It has a nice kitchen. I like the kitchen, and I think I'm gonna end up eventually putting a sunroom on the back of the house. There's like a deck, and the deck is probably sharing the interior is fine. Yeah, you're right. It's just that like I'm not the only person living there. Like my partner is also living there, and also yeah. So I don't want to like share anything that's not appropriate to share, you know, because it's private space. Like a home is a private space, and so yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, it's gonna be a great time though. I'm super excited to have a room that I can stream in kind of more freely. I'm excited to be able to make content within that room that, you know, I won't have to stress so much. It's hard to explain how much of a relief it'll be because you guys don't see the back end of me making videos or me like planning what I'm doing. But like, especially if you're sharing a space, it's really hard to do content creation. Being a content creator is very selfish. Like I have lights blasting on me. I have a very sensitive mic. Like no one is allowed to be in this basement while I'm streaming because it's like they would just be on my stream, you know, just some random person, and they don't want to dox themselves, so they don't want to be down here. You know, it's like it takes a lot of space to do this. And so I'm glad I will be able to have that space moving forward, and it won't be a big issue. Yeah, it's a beautiful house. The nice thing about the realtor is that the realtor is like was a contractor for years. So our realtor was super knowledgeable, able to point things out very quickly that would need repair or would need money. So every house sort of got like a mini inspection, not really like a full inspection, obviously, because those are very thorough, but like it was nice to have that sort of knowledge while walking around looking at houses to get a good sense of which ones were good value versus not good value. Some of the houses that we looked at were destroyed, were like absolutely, like the people living in them barely took care of them. It was kind of disturbing. Like I'm not a super prissy person, but like if I have a house that's a nice house, like I would want to take care of it. You know, some of these houses were really beautiful, but you could tell like the actual model of the house is really nice, but the cupboards were destroyed, like handles falling off of things, and yeah, beat up trimming, you know, all the stuff you don't want to see. One step at a time. Yeah, except every step is moving very fast. It's kind of crazy because today being Memorial Day is the first day that I've sort of had a break. That's probably why I seem so scatterbrained discussing all of this, is because like literally this has been nonstop every day. Something's been happening moving forward with the process. But since it's Memorial Day and everyone's not working because it's a national holiday, it's the first day that we have to just sort of like not do something. Like even yesterday I was emailing people and calling people and doing stuff, even on a Sunday, because like realtors and stuff, they work on the weekends. So yeah, like tomorrow we're sending out our earnest check, which is basically our like when a buyer accepts when a seller accepts an offer from a buyer, you send an earnest check to like confirm the offer. So it's like a deposit sort of. Very exciting stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. This entire stream is literally just because I wanted to, you know, explain what was going on to everybody, give everybody the details of what's happening and why I've been so poor at being consistent with content, which is something that's been a long-term problem. But oh well. Hey, too spooky. Hi there. I do feel like maybe I discussed things in full detail too soon. It's hard to tell, like when you're doing a stream, it's hard to tell like if you have a specific topic you want to talk about, like how long you should wait. Because you wait too long and people are like, I don't want to wait an hour to talk about the main topic of the, you know, but then if you talk about it too early, there are people that show up after, you know, 30 minutes after an hour, and then they're kind of like, wait, what just happened? So yes, if you can tell from, I don't know if when you pop into a YouTube stream, can you see the chat prior to like when you were here? Like, can you see on the chat box everyone that has been chatting? I assume you can. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. Yes. Oh, okay. Some of it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that. Like if it was possible to like scroll back and read the logs. I know that, I think the way that I have it set up, it saves the chat after the stream. At least I think I have it set up that way. It probably is all of it. There's not a lot of chat today. It's been kind of quiet. It started with Count Saki being like, I should be asleep, LOL. But yeah, so I already sort of explained the details of it, but I am moving. I will be doing a moving, and it's pretty exciting. I'm buying a house, so I will be purchasing a house very soon. It's crazy. Like, the closing will probably happen within the next week or two, which is insane because before this weekend, didn't even have a house that I was like, you know, like I hadn't even looked at houses yet. So yeah, I'm kind of exhausted also from this. Like, it's been a whole, like, I have PTSD, and part of the thing that bugs me the most about it is that certain executive functions, like, that are very simple, I struggle with a lot. Like, and I know that this is like, people will agree that this is something people struggle with, but like, when you have to like call, when you have to call people to like work out certain things with like a bill or like with a contract or like executive functions like that, I struggle with a lot. So talking to the realtor and the lender and people when we're out showing houses, it's just a lot. It's a lot of stuff, doing a lot of things and completing a lot of checklist tasks, and it drains me weirdly, like more than I'm sure it does other people. I don't know why. I just hate it. I can't wait to be through the process already, because I don't like this middle ground state. It's like, I have so much stuff. I have like 4 things I gotta do tomorrow for this deal for the house. 4 things. And especially when it involves money. That also sucks, no, but yeah. There's this thing called executive dysfunction, and it's a part of PTSD, and it's frustrating, but it do be how it is. I struggled a lot with that stuff in like college, because like when you're in college, you have to do a lot of like small things, like on the backside of college, like working with like your loans and your all that other crap. I hated all of that. Hated it. Ugh. I don't like. I feel like an office job would probably like destroy me. Like literally destroy me. I admire people that can actually handle an office job at all, because it sounds torturous to me. It sounds horrible. I don't think I can do it. Like before this, you know, I was working in I was working as a massage therapist, and then before that I was working in food service. So, I mean, I haven't worked an office job before. I refuse. I like don't think I could handle it. Doing 2 hours of paperwork is like a 10-hour workday for me. Yeah, like paperwork, yo. I don't admire that. I hate that crap. It's awful. Ugh. And then also like having to like just talk to all these different people about things. It's exhausting. That's true. Yeah, there are plenty of jobs that don't require you to talk to people, which is really nice. That is true. I would probably do better around those jobs, although massage therapy was pretty nice because it's sort of like a medical thing, like especially the way that I approach treatment. Like I'm not really a spa therapist. I'm more of like a medical massage therapist. And what that means is that I'm like examining people's medical history and coming up with treatment plans for like chronic pain. Wow, yes, chronic pain. amongst other things, to help like support my treatment or support my patients' well-being, you know, like especially if they have certain specific chronic conditions, or they're undergoing surgery, or they're an athlete. There are many applications of massage that are extremely useful and beneficial for not only quality of life, but for outcomes. The surgical outcomes improve massively when patients are under the care of a knowledgeable therapist. I should put that knowledgeable part there, because there is a definitive difference. The schooling is usually okay. The schooling is the same. If you go to school as a massage therapist, you do have to get a medical license for that. In most states, not, well, actually, I can't remember how many states. In my state, you need a medical license. There are some states you don't need a medical license. I think there's 3 states where you don't need a medical license. It's like Hawaii. I think Alaska. And I can't remember the other one. But yeah, I had to go through medical licensing exams and stuff for that. But anyway, most of the time when you're treating people, they're like, you go through their medical history, and then they're just like, people fall asleep on the table almost all the time. Like when people start getting their massage, they just like, they pass out. I like it though, because my least favorite patients were the ones that were super chatty on the table. Because some people don't know how to relax. Like part of massage is helping someone with their, you have two sides of your nervous system that respond to, you know, rest and digest, and then there's the fight and flight, the active side. And so like there's a lot of people in modern society that are stuck in an active neurological state. Like they don't know how to activate their parasympathetic response. They don't know how to activate their rest and digest response. And so like I had clients where they're sitting on the table and they're just like, you know, they're like talking about their whole life or whatever, and it's like, can you just relax, please? Like you don't need, this isn't an interrogation or anything. Okay, so you're getting your MD this semester? Oh my gosh, congratulations. I admire what doctors do a lot and stuff. I chose to be a massage therapist because I can't handle blood or any of the other stuff. Like I would love to even be a nurse, you know, but oh man, I don't think I could handle it. Get too queasy. I like preventative care a lot. Most of the time when I see people, they're in an absolutely fine state of health, if not just, you know, a little achy or frustrated with their, you know, some pain or something. I did see people in delicate medical condition. Like when you're a massage therapist, you do have to be careful about like contraindications or things like that, like things that could be potentially dangerous. So like for instance, if someone is drunk and you do a massage, you're moving fluids throughout their body, you're helping pump the blood, you're helping move the lymph fluids, and they're already dehydrated, and it can dehydrate them further and cause, you know, severe complications, alcohol poisoning. So it's very dangerous to massage someone who's drunk, who's inebriated. And if you're not aware of that, you could hurt someone doing that. It's important to know stuff like that. Yep. But I love massage therapy. I think like eventually I was thinking about potentially doing a channel about massage therapy, because okay, this is really off topic. This is so off topic. But the style of therapy that I prefer to practice, it's called dermoneuromodulation, and it is relatively new. It is a treatment. It is a style of treatment that was developed not too long ago, like probably just about 10 years ago, maybe a little over 10 years ago, this woman, Diane Jacobs, and it's essentially a treatment. It's a treatment method based around chronic pain. Essentially, like the brain, you have your nervous system. There are certain nerves that respond to pain, sort of like alarms sounding off. And there are instances with certain injuries or certain surgeries or certain things that go on with the human brain where, like, essentially the alarms do not turn off. The nerves are still angry, even though there's no injury there. That's what chronic pain a lot of the times is. It's when someone no longer has an injury, but they still have pain in that area that's persistent, that won't go away, that is frustrating to the person. And that's a lot of the reason why people take opioids. A lot of the reasons why there is an opioid crisis in America is because people didn't take good care of their bodies and ended up with, you know, injuries that then healed but left chronic pain, or maybe the injuries didn't fully heal. But there's, you know, a lot of chronic pain in America, and people were taking painkillers, which then, you know, they weren't able to be. They stopped getting prescribed those painkillers by the doctors because of, you know, they were becoming addicted, and then they went onto the streets and fed into the black market, the drug market. So it's unfortunate, but dermal neuromodulation, what I practice, is a very simple treatment. It's essentially, okay, your nerves are all connected. I'm sure you're aware. It's all like a bunch of spaghetti noodles throughout your whole body, and they're all connected. So if you manipulate the skin, you are manipulating the exterior nerves. But if you manipulate them in a certain way, it creates space. You can manipulate where the nerves are by manipulating like the skin and the muscle tissue. So what I do is essentially I find areas of chronic pain and I create novel sensations in that area. So someone will have back pain where they don't have an injury, but they have pain there that just won't go away. There are times where essentially all the body needs to do is, like, your brain needs to, when I create a novel sensation in that area, your brain is like, oh, it hurts. Why does that hurt? There's no reason for that to hurt. Okay, it doesn't hurt. And then it stops hurting. Like, I kid you not. I have actually done, I do regular treatments on my partner, and the treatments effectively remove the pain for an entire week or more most of the time. And a lot of the times the reason why people can have chronic pain can be because they have a sort of like bad habit. So like someone might have chronic pain because like they sit at their computer a lot, so they have neck pain, shoulder pain, that kind of stuff. Dermal neuromodulation is also effective for that kind of treatment of chronic pain, as well as like old pain that is from prior injuries. And it is really interesting because essentially basically the brain is really bad at turning off pain signals. Like, you can have a pain signal going on and on and on, and essentially your primary central nervous system forgets about it, but you don't. You still experience it. It's just that your brain doesn't really care. But when it's pointed to it, like when your brain is pointed to that area with a specific thing called novel sensation, where like someone is manipulating the area, it puts like a hyper focus on that area, kind of forces the brain's attention on that area, and then a lot of the times the brain will just be like, oh, there's no injury there, why are the pain receptors activated? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And then they'll just turn it off. It just turns it off. I've done treatments before where someone's had pain, they've had continuous pain for a long time, and I do a manipulation that works, and it often feels like a stretch. Like, to the person, they'll be like, oh, it feels like a really good stretch. It's like, oh, it feels so good. And then I'll release, and I'm like, is it still hurt there? They're like, no, there's literally no pain. Like, it'll be like, I'll go to touch their back before the treatment, and they're like, like they're like wincing. It's so tender. I'll like grab sometimes what I have to do is like essentially maneuver maneuver the gluteus maximus backwards or go from the back and pull up on the back. But like if I get the appropriate manipulation to create the novel sensation in that area where they're like, oh, I feel really good there now, oftentimes the pain is almost immediately gone, if not reduced by like 80 to 90%. And then the rest of it kind of continues to improve over the next couple days. And then usually the treatment will last a week or two. And then the patient can start working on what's causing it. So like if some people, it's very easy to get over the chronic pain because they get a couple treatments and their brain sort of just, I'm training the brain to chill. Like essentially training the brain to reevaluate the pain. Like our understanding of pain is unfortunately very limited when it comes to the medical community. And you think we would have a very strong understanding of pain, but unfortunately, because of the overuse of painkillers, we view pain as a symptom. So it's like you have pain and Phantom Lip 101. Oh, well, that's also a part of it. Yeah, I mean, like the central nervous system can literally not even notice if you're missing a limb. That's very true. That's also a part of it. That's sort of like a similar thing. But yeah, so the medical community views pain as a symptom. And for that reason, there hasn't been a lot of research on what is actually pain itself. It's more so research on how to stop the pain, which led to painkillers. And then when people found painkillers, it was sort of like, oh, problem solved. Except not really, because painkillers are addictive. And pain is sort of like the body's inability to access its own healing response. Again, as long as there's no active injury. Like there are some people that have an active injury, and of course you're going to have pain during an active injury. It's just, you would be amazed at how many people have no injuries on their body but are racked with pain. And that's real. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of understanding as to that kind of like situation, what we can do for those people, to the point where like a lot of medical options are like nerve ablation. Like if you're in pain and they can't stop it with painkillers, pretty much one of the only other options is a nerve block or nerve ablation. They can either block the signals to the nerve, or they can literally just kill your nerve. And I don't think that those are sometimes necessary for people that have conditions where it's too far gone. Like I understand the medical necessity of that treatment sometimes for certain people, but I mean, I feel like medical intervention is, obviously not something people should aspire to have. You shouldn't want nerve ablation. And if there's a treatment method that allows people out of chronic pain without literally destroying their nervous system, then I think it's good to explore that. Diane Jacobs has had incredible success with her treatment. And kind of the interesting thing is a lot of I won't get into it. I won't get even deeper into it. True Western medicine is more about treating symptoms and the problem. Homeopathic practice. I don't believe in homeopathic practice. I think it's BS. I'm sorry to be plain. Like I did take I took a medical licensing exam. I think that Western medicine has a lot of factual accuracy. I truly, believe in Western medicine. I just think that people literally the root of it, people undervalue preventative care. Western medicine is about medical intervention. It's interventive medicine. So surgery is the last stop before death, right? Like if you have a problem, they're going to try medicine, they're going to try other treatment options, but if they got to take out your gallbladder, if they got to take out your appendix, if they got to take out something, if they have to do surgery to repair something, they're going to do it, right? The point is that you should take care of your body, and hopefully you don't need interventive care. Preventative care is about nutrition, wellness, health. It's very simple. Like, are you staying hydrated? Are you eating a healthy balance of nutrition in your day? And are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting a little bit of exercise every day? Like, small things like that make a huge difference. But unfortunately, also there's things like posture. People have really bad posture nowadays. And therapists, they help people recognize bad habits, within their lives and their diets and all sorts of other things, but they also sort of facilitate the body's own healing process. Like what I'm doing with dermoneuromodulation is I'm turning the brain's attention, like Nat said, I'm turning the brain's attention to an area of pain, and the brain sort of realizes there's no reason for that pain to be there, and it stops it. I didn't do anything. All I did was help the person heal themselves. Essentially, I'm facilitating pain relief. The pain relief is coming from my patient. It's not coming from me. I'm just bringing their attention to that area with their central nervous system, and then it rights itself. So yeah, but I mean, I do think there is some value to some other medical practices. Like I do think that, you know, therapy, like physical therapy is very effective. Massage therapy, I think, is very effective. I don't think chiropractic medicine is real. I don't think chiropractic medicine is safe, and I don't think it's worth the risk to go to a chiropractor. I think that there are certain like herbal supplements and other things that can be incredibly beneficial to people, but people have to understand toxicity and dosage and when that is a better option than other things. Most of the time with preventative care, it's very simple what the cause of the issue is. It's like you're eating a crappy diet, you're not sleeping enough, you're not staying hydrated, or you're not exercising enough, or you have just like terrible posture, or like there's the very simple reasons why people have very, very developed medical conditions. Like, and it's sad to say, but like, you know, if you just kind of intervene with that person's life and help them with their lifestyle, while like also I'm relieving pain for people, they trust me, you know, I can talk to them about their medical state, I can give them appropriate information and help guide them towards good decisions. When being a massage therapist, or physical therapists also do this very regularly. But yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to like, I'm not trying to make you feel bad, Nat. I don't know if you believe in homeopathic practice. I don't. I saw a pain in my knees from working at a tire shop and using it as a prop to lift heavy tires and rims. Yeah, that's probably chronic pain that you could have treated with dermoneuromodulation. Essentially what that probably is that the pain receptors there are still activated, even though you are not. I don't know if you're still working in the tire shop, but if you're not working in the tire shop anymore, you shouldn't have pain. It's got here hearing medical stuff. I can't take medical stuff to an extent because of hemophobia. Oh yeah, no, I was talking about that earlier. That's why I like being a massage therapist, is I don't have to deal with blood. I don't have to deal with the really gross stuff. Like most of what I deal with is like someone's feet are like really calloused and gross, or they have like a fungal infection in their toenail or something, which is kind of nasty. But like, yeah, I don't have to see the worst extent of medical practice, you know, like the blood and stuff. American diet and lifestyle doesn't help. The medical community wants to give you a pill, however, diet and exercise. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. See, most Western medicine is interventative. So like, let's say you're diabetic and you don't eat well and you live a bad lifestyle, an unhealthy lifestyle, you can end up with neuropathy. Your foot can start rotting on your body. Like, and amputation is a treatment for that. But do you want that? No, you want to take care of yourself so that you don't have to have your foot cut off. Like, I heard that in America, they treat with medicine some conditions before they become conditions like prediabetes. Yeah, that's true. That is true. A lot of the times when you are pre-diabetic, they will put you on medicines to try to prevent you from becoming diabetic, because a lot of the American medical system is based around inpatient care, and they don't. I mean, like they'll tell you to eat better, but they also don't expect you to. You know what I mean? Like they'll tell you like, hey, you need to really buckle down on this and like start measuring your sugar intake, start measuring your carb intake, start, you know, planning out your meals. And there are a lot of people, I hate to sound mean, I'm not trying to sound mean, but there's a lot of people who will walk out of the hospital after hearing they're pre-diabetic and go buy a 2-liter and just like chug it, and like they just don't care because they think that doctors are there to save them from their bad choices. No, doctors are there to prevent you from the worst case scenario of your bad choices, which is death. Because there are a lot of people who without interventive care would quite quickly die in our country because they aren't taking care of themselves, and they're preventing on that as like a net to catch them and prevent them from dying. It's like saying take this pill so you don't have to take the other pill. Yeah, and a lot of them have side effects, and a lot of them, you know, have negative impacts on the patient's life. But people just, okay, I'm obviously, there's patient confidentiality, so I can't give you like tons of specifics, but I can talk. Like, I had a patient once who had a problem with their back. There are 2 stages to a deviation, which is like a postural deviation is like when someone's spine is not properly lined up. That's what a postural deviation is. Okay, let me see this. Let me read. I do to an extent, but I understand what you mean. It's not a treatment you can solely rely on. It's just when it comes to modern medicine, I feel like they prefer a patient. Yeah, to remain sick, to make more money off of them. Well, see, there's always going to be more people getting sick, so the medical community doesn't have to keep people sick, but they do have a profit incentive to, like, okay, here's an example. There are many things that are very treatable with medicine, but not curable. And the reason why they won't explore a cure is because it costs money, and the treatment may already be effective enough that people don't, like, they don't feel that it would improve people's quality of life enough to explore a cure or whatever, which is so stupid. I mean, like, am I a doctor? No, I have a medical license for the state that I'm in, or well, it's right now. I have to renew it right now because I'm not practicing. But I'm a massage therapist, but I'm a medical massage therapist. I studied medical massage school, and I don't like spa treatments. Like I'm prefer to do medical massage treatments. It's an interesting conversation. Also, money is an issue because people can't afford. Yeah, the American medical system is disgusting in the amount of kyphosis. Yeah, so like there's tons of different postural. Let me get back to postural deviations. I had a patient who had a postural deviation that was extreme. There are 2 stages. There's functional and structural. So in a functional stage, if you have a postural deviation, that just means that you're slouching. So like if you slouch, that's a postural deviation. You are now deviating from the standard posture. It's bad for your health to do this. And then you'll notice pain if you do that for too long. If you do it too much, you know that cliche, like if you make that face too much, it'll get stuck like that. That's what can happen to your spine. So if you slouch too much, or if you have bad posture too much, your spine will eventually structurally change permanently change to that position. And the issue is that the rest of your body won't balance around that. Hey Jane, I'm sorry, I meant to say hello to you. I don't think I did. Hello. So I had a client who had a structural stage deviation. They had worked in a call center for an extremely long time, like 40 years. They were retired, and their back was stuck. Like, I can't even do it. Like they essentially had a hunchback. Okay. And they had been to 13 different doctors demanding, like, what's wrong with me? What's the issue? What's the fix? Fix me. And it's like, when you're a medical professional, you're in a position where you can't just say it's your fault. I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. You did this to yourself at this point. That's the end of the conversation. Like seriously, that's the kind of patient where the only option is like nerve ablation. The only option is to just destroy the nerves that hurt, to kill them, the nerves that hurt. And like, that's such an extreme treatment. But if this patient had explored interventive care, like I saw this person 2 times a week, every week for months and months and months. If this patient had explored, like had gotten a therapist 5-10 years ago, avoidable, literally avoidable. But this patient will not take the responsibility, and we can't force a patient to take responsibility for the bad choices that they've made. And you sort of pity them in a sense, like you want to do something to help. Like I felt frustrated. It is your fault. I can take that if I was a patient. What do you mean? I actually kind of don't understand what you mean by that. I apologize. Like in specific case, like childbirth. I'll say for okay, yeah. There's a lot of untreated, or sorry, not untreated. There's a lot of unstudied responses to pregnancy. Like pregnancy doesn't get as much study as it should, to be honest, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, we don't totally understand certain complications with certain medications with pregnancy. Like we can understand that maybe within a certain population, generally speaking, a certain medicine is safe to take while you're pregnant, but the fact is that we can't understand how certain medications will affect the development of a fetus, because it's just a whole different ball game. You're talking about the toxicity of an embryo. Like you don't know how that's going to affect the any of it. Like literally, the affecting the mother's body will affect the development of the fetus. So there were a lot of situations in prior medicine where there were many cases of women taking medication while they were pregnant and having horrible birth defects. There was a whole wave of it, I think, with the baby booming generation, where it was a lot of untested medicine, like antidepressants, antipsychotics. When they started ramping up a lot of the treatments for that, and pregnant women started taking a lot of those medications, you started having babies born without arms, babies born with their organs missing, with horrible defects, like non-viable outside the womb. And it's really sad. It's really, really sad. But that's just kind of the unfortunate nature of the pharmaceutical. Like they have a profit motive. And that's disgusting, because their profit motive affects people's lives. And they view people as a stat, not as individual, valuable human beings that deserve and need to be treated with respect and deserve to have treatment, that isn't destructive to their health. If I have medical issues in the future, I won't demand to be fixed because I accept I have contributed to the problem. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, exactly. And that's great. That'll take you you have no idea how much that can help you out in a medical situation, because if a doctor can't convince you to change your lifestyle, that's when interventive treatment is like, they're like, well, if you don't want to change your diet, we can do this or that, but those often come with more risk. So I won't specifically say that homeopathy is, I would assume that it is safer, because you're essentially giving the mother nothing. Like a lot of homeopathy is the amount of particulate in the treatment is like parts per million, like 1 part per million, or like less than that. It's like it's so minuscule that I think a lot of homeopathy is placebo. And I'm not saying that necessarily is inherently a bad thing, because I think there is a medical use for the placebo effect. The placebo effect essentially proves that your subjective framework affects the effective treatments, or how effective the treatments are. There have been studies that have shown that if you're in a life or like if you're in a severe accident and a doctor says to you, like let's say you're in a severe accident, you're in critical condition. If a doctor says to you, "Ooh, he looks really bad," like around the person, like, "Oh, I don't think they're gonna make it," you're more likely to die. Like you're about 50% or more likely to die if a doctor around you says, "I don't think they're gonna make it. Like this looks really bad," or something like that. If they react poorly to you, if the doctor, same situation, if the doctor says, "I think you can get through this. Like don't stop fighting. You can get through this. You know, we can save you." Your chance of survival improves because you believe the doctor. If someone you trust as an authority figure on your health tells you you're about to die, a lot of the times you start actually dying. Like you will literally just start, especially if you are in the process of dying. Like if you're in a very critical condition, you can medically give up. Like your body can just give up and start dying. It's really sad to say, but so there's a lot of effective medical outcomes that can be positive when considering the placebo effect. You're essentially considering how the person views their treatment, whether positively or negatively, and that can affect outcomes. And now, you know, that's not necessarily permanent, but we can talk about like quality of life. We can talk about all sorts of things. Like if someone has no treatment options, but we can give them a sugar pill and tell them that we're doing something for them, and that makes them feel a little better. Are we doing harm, or is that like, there's a lot of gray area there. Some people are very against that, but I mean, you know, and you can't really lie to people medically, but it's a whole sticky situation there. Same with insurance. My wife has a super hard time getting things approved because of patient. Oh God, insurance is literally a medical mafia. It's a mafia. Would make sense to lash out at my family for giving me type 2 diabetes because it runs in the family. Right. Yeah, people will blame their genetics. People will blame their upbringing. They'll blame all sorts of things, but they won't blame like the amount of soda they buy or whatever. Like I'll be honest, a lot of people that are pre-diabetic, it is very simply they're consuming a lot of soda and they're eating too much dessert and they're eating too much fried foods. Like those three things, that is a recipe for diabetes right there. Soda, like tons of ice cream and cake and cookies and cupcakes and whatever, and then also eating a lot of like fried, breaded, battered, fried things like French fries and, you know, fried chicken patties, chicken nuggets. A lot of that stuff, that standard American fare, is like really bad for you, you know. The insurance is like, we don't think they need it. Even when my wife, who is a wound care manager, taking care of patients, yeah, it's they do this thing with insurance, which is really disgusting. They try to push the burden off of themselves. Death in childbirth comes with a racial and income bias in America. Black and brown women concerns are often dismissed. Also, the priority. Yes, absolutely true. That is. We could spend many live streams discussing the disgusting way that areas of poverty are treated by the medical communities that live or that work in those communities. Like I've lived in impoverished areas, and there are these things called urgent cares, which are not, they're like sort of like between an ER and a family doctor. Like a lot of young people, and especially areas where there's a lot of poverty, they don't have family doctors. And to prevent a lot of those people from just rushing the emergency room every time they get sick, they developed these clinics called urgent cares, which are essentially like kind of like what it's not, your child is very sick, but not sick enough to go to the emergency room. You take him to an urgent care, you get some treatment, you get out the door, and you're all good to go. But a lot of the times that the urgent cares are horrible. Like they're staffed by people who are just extremely disgusting. The way they treat their patients, the way that it's like the way that prison guards treat prisoners. Like if you know anything about the prison system, like they treat prisoners like they're animals, like they're subhuman, which is disgusting, right? It's honestly much the same with the way the medical community in a lot of these urgent care facilities, the way they treat their patients. They don't care about them personally, and they don't get the kind of standard of care that they need, and that increases incidence rates of all sorts of different horrible things. It causes a lot of people to get mistreated. People get misdiagnosed and treated with the wrong treatments, which can worsen outcomes for the thing that they're coming in to get treated for. People go, like what Frankie said, they have their health concerns dismissed. A lot of people that live in areas of poverty, you know, they come in with pain. If you live in an area of poverty and you're like black or brown and you're a woman and you go in with pain, like they're gonna like assume you're a junkie. And I hate to say that, it's so disgusting, but they're gonna assume you're a junkie. But like a ritzy white woman comes in wearing her pearl necklace or whatever and says she's in pain, and you're gonna give her oxycodone. Like this is real, and that's something that happens, and it's disgusting. It's really disgusting. Like everyone deserves the same quality of care. I don't care if you're rich or poor. You deserve quality care. And that's one of the things that our medical system fails to do on such a gradient that it's disgusting. Like the top level of care in America is the best in the world. The bottom level care in America is probably some of the bottom of, I don't want to say the world, because there are a lot of countries that have, you know, significant problems that prevent them from even getting medical care. But like of a lot of developed countries, for poor people, the outcomes in America are very bad compared to other countries. Okay. Whew. Is there any way I can cure your hemophobia? You can do exposure therapy. That's often really, really effective with phobias. So like if you have a phobia of blood, what I would recommend doing is start with something that like is very fake blood. Like you can go to those Halloween stores and get the stuff that's like, it's obviously not real blood, like it's too red or whatever, and it may even feel silly, like maybe that doesn't scare you, maybe that just scares you like just a teensy little bit. But with exposure therapy, you start with, like if you're scared of spiders, you start by looking at a picture of a spider on the internet. Once you feel that your heart rate stops elevating, you stop reacting with panic to that situation, then you get like a toy spider and you hold it, and then once you stop panicking, reacting to that, you find a spider in real life, and you don't hold it, but you just like stare at it. And then once you're fine with that, you hold the spider, and you know once you're fine with that, your phobia is cured essentially. Like so that's exposure therapy 101. And with something like hemophobia, you can use stuff like that. Now you have to be careful though, because you don't want to look at anything traumatic. You don't want to like okay, I have when I was in medical massage school, we were watching a knee replacement, like a video of them, surgeons doing a knee replacement. And someone in my class didn't know they were hemophobic. And they turned green, and they almost passed out. Like they were really bothered by it. I mean, it's disturbing. Knee replacements are intense. You just described the Southern diet. Yeah, like Southern sweet tea is diabetes fuel, unfortunately. Because I'm sure a lot of people love it. 100% Western modern medicine is a lot harsher on POC, especially POC women. Yes. A lot of specifically female concerns are dismissed, which is really, really annoying. I'm lucky to have a good pediatric urgent care close to my house that's actually really good, but I have been to some that I don't know what's wrong. Send you away. Yeah, I had a significant other when I was very young, and they had to go to an urgent care because they lived in an area that's, you know, very impoverished, and like they were literally refused treatment. They were refused treatment. Like they voiced their concerns, and they were just like, nah, you're lying. And it's like, it's awful. I've seen it firsthand. I'm lucky to have a good, oh, I just read that. I usually get really weak as if I could collapse. Yeah, people feel faint. Wouldn't make it through a whole video. Knee replacement video. Yeah. It's the things they do in that surgery are really intense. I will tell you that. It's pretty nuts, to be honest. Like, it doesn't look like a gentle affair. Ugh. Like, there's a big mallet involved and a giant, it looks like almost like an arrowhead, but it's like this titanium spike with like a pointed head that looks like an arrowhead, and the point of it is to create space for the implants. And so they're literally like hammering it into your bone, into your femur. They're just like, and it's just like, oh. I mean, I'm not like super, like, I am squeamish, but there are definitely people that are more squeamish than me, and it makes you squirm. It makes you squirm. Imagine being a supervillain with hemophobia. Yeah, you'd have to have some power that doesn't involve bleeding at all. Like, after I got my shoulder anchors, I watched a video of them putting anchors in someone's shoulder, and I was yeah, I highly recommend this. I'm being serious. Like, this is really for real. If you're going to have a surgery, do not look it up. Don't, because you may think that knowing what they're gonna do to you will help your nerves, but it won't. It's only going to scare you more. And your mental state is really important before a thing like a surgery. Like, your mental state is very important. So you want to be as calm, collected as possible. You don't want to freak yourself out, and watching your surgery is not going to make you feel better. If you're not a medical professional and you don't know what someone is doing, it's just scary. Especially for things like a knee replacement, or like anything that involves really opening someone up. Cool. So just to recap, buying a house, that's what this whole thing was about. But I do enjoy talking about this stuff with you guys. Never seen a knee replacement surgery. I do go through a phase of wanting to get rhinoplasty stuff. I was like, nope. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, cosmetic surgery can be really, really good, but it is risky. It does have a risk to it, and it's, you know, it's not an easy process. Like, a lot of cosmetic surgeries are pretty taxing on the body, more so than you would think. And so, yeah, it's unfortunate. I think as time goes on, we'll obviously come up with less and less invasive methods. Like, that's sort of been the trend for surgery and medical treatments, is like they've gotten less invasive as time has gone on, which is good. You want to impact the body as little as possible. Like, you don't want to cause stress on the body, and a lot of surgery is very stressful on the body. So anything we can do to reduce that reduces risk. What do you do with your life? Whatever you want. It took me a long time to figure that out. When I was really young, I wanted to be a music teacher, and then I wanted to be a philosophy professor, and then I gave up on both of those things, and I was just working as a general manager for a food job. And then I decided to go back to school for massage therapy, and I became a medical massage therapist, and I was very happy doing that. But then I realized that I would love being a content creator, and working from home just seems preferable in general. And to be honest, I think eventually I would be able to have more impact talking about this stuff online. Like, if I could teach people about pain management online, I think I can have a better outreach than if I'm teaching my individual clients about pain management. Does that make sense? Like if I have opened up I'm not having a stroke, I promise. If I open up a private practice, then I will have a limit on the number of clients that I can have. But if I teach about pain management online, then I can have an effect on millions of people. I'm terrified of heights. I shake uncontrollably. I agree with you there. I am also terrified of heights. Oh, like when people lean on railings, when they're on a bridge or whatever, and they like lean on the railing, it makes me want to throw up. Like I don't understand. People are crazy when they do that. Like I don't trust it. I don't care if that stuff is cemented in the ground. I don't know. If you're on the second story of a mall and you're like leaning over the railing, like you are risking life and limb. Like I don't understand what you're doing. The crazy part to me was I was awake when they placed the nerve block in, and since it was my shoulder, the nerve block went in my neck. I had to watch them use the ultrasound to guide along. Yeah. Yep. If they decide to do nerve blocks and stuff, it's weird when you get surgery and you're awake. That is a very bizarre experience, especially for people that get like brain surgery and stuff, because there's no nerve endings in your actual brain. So a lot of times most neurosurgery is done when the person is awake, a lot of the times. And I don't know, I've never had awake surgery. But you don't even know what is your favorite color. Music and philosophy. Nice. Yeah, I was a musician for a long time, did classical and jazz, and I wanted to be like a high school music teacher or whatever, but then I realized that job would make me hate my life, so I decided not to do that. And then I added a second major to be a philosophy professor, but then my philosophy professors told me not to be a philosophy professor. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just work in food again. And so I did, and then, yeah, too much schooling to end up where I am right now, to be honest, but it's okay. I think it has informed me and made me more interesting and more knowledgeable, and so I'm not mad about that at all. You're already worrying about payment when you're a job. I mean, you know what? Just try to focus on the important stuff when you're young. You know, try to focus on your just because like oftentimes when you're older, if you get into a career that you want to do, it's based on something that you just like to do in life. It's based on some preference that you have. And so the better you know yourself, the better you'll be able to navigate your adult life, because really, I mean, you get a lot of freedom when you're an adult, and it's up to you to make those choices. And so you got to like do the thing, you know? So just like figure out who you are and stuff. Yup. This has been a very, very interesting stream. Has been quite a chaotic stream indeed. I feel good after informing you all of the situation. Awkward silence. I ran out of things. I didn't know what to say after that. Yeah, I'm glad I told you all about what's going on, like with me buying a house and everything. Like, I'm super excited about all that. Having a room to make content in. I can paint it. I can put up lights. We can go full RGB, everyone. We can have a disco party in the room. It's gonna be beautiful. The stream title has been very fitting. Yes, I didn't know what to put there. I was just like, I don't know. Like, I never know what to do for titles. It's so awkward. It's hard. Like, yeah. Just chatting. It is true. We are just chatting. That is what is going on. I had to turn my fan on. It's getting a little toasty in here. Time for pain in Sumeru Archon Quest. Nice. Nice. Samaro's Archon Quest is pretty good. I'm excited to see what they do with Fontaine's Archon Quest. That should be pretty interesting. I'm so sweaty. Holy mother. I wear... Man. Eh? Accidentally sending a bunch of messages. I was thinking I might take a short break. I don't know. I don't know how long to do this stream for. I pretty much said everything I wanted to say, and then we talked about medical stuff for a long time, which I'm totally fine with because I am very interested in like medical stuff. So I love talking about it. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm gonna take a quick break. I need to grab something to drink. My mouth is getting really dry. I've been sipping out of an empty cup for like 30 minutes. Your just chatting streams are so comfortable. Like your content creator Jane shines through. Like others who just blank under long chat streams like this. You keep it interesting. Aw, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I like just chatting streams because I don't have to like. When you're gaming and you're trying to chat at the same time, it is really hard to keep everything together. It's just it's more stressful. Just chatting streams are easier. It's just way easier to sit here and not have to be like I'm not doing anything really. But I'm glad that that's good. I'm glad that my personality is a positive thing and not a deterrent from my content. Who here watches Inside Job? That is a hilarious show. Inside Job, so funny. I was skeptical because it seemed like a Rick and Morty show or whatever, which, you know, I don't hate Rick and Morty, but I do think it is like overplayed or whatever. Like it's funny, but it's not that funny really. Like a lot of the jokes are in, you know, whatever. But yeah, Inside Job, great show. It got canceled. Really? Dang. Well, that's unfortunate. I really liked that one. That's what I hate about these like Netflix shows and stuff, is you get attached to them and then they just like, hey, by the way, that thing that you love, it's gone forever. Oh, I'm not like, I'm like so out of, I don't like watch a lot of TV, so I don't, what I do is things will come out and then I will watch it at some point. Like I often watch anime after the season is out. Like I wait until the whole season's out and then I just binge it. No, I don't really watch things as it comes out most of the time. Got tired of Rick and Morty and moved over to South Park. I don't even know what Bigfoot is. What is that? Big Mouth? Oh, is that one about puberty or whatever? Which is like, I didn't really like that show. A lot of people really liked that show. I did not like Big Mouth. I thought it was, I mean, like some of it was funny, but a lot of it was just toilet humor. And like, I'm about to turn 30. Like, I get it. People poop and ejaculate and do all sorts of things with their bodies. I don't care. I don't care. It's not that funny. I slowly just got more desensitized when I start watching Family Guy and then goes to Rick and Morty and finally I hate South Park. Of the satire shows, I don't know which ones that I prefer. Like, I feel like they're really funny when you're younger, but then as you get older, it's just like, meh. You know, it's like, meh. Inside Job was funny. That was a good satirical show. I liked that one. But apparently, most people don't agree with me because it got canceled. I slowly got more desensitized when you started watching. Oh wait, I just read that. Big Mouth insists upon itself. Yeah, it's probably one of those personal pet projects from someone and they like just refuse to cancel it. So close to getting Yoimiya. Ooh, congratulations. I hope that you acquire Yoimiya. I hope that is something that you are able to acquire very soon. Okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna take the quick break, Roni. So I'm just gonna go over to this screen. And I'll be right back. Hello, I am returned. You have a dilemma. You've only started Sumeru. Oh, nice. Once Fontaine is gonna come out, you'll cry. Why are you gonna cry? You know, honestly, I feel like at this point in Genshin, it's almost a good idea to be like a region behind. Like if you keep a full region of content ahead of you, it feels like you have a ton to do, and it feels like it's not like you don't feel like there's any content drought. But you then the new region comes out and you can just like, you don't feel bad about doing the content. It's like a legitimate strategy. I like to play sort of continuously. I sort of like this past week I haven't played as much because I been house hunting. It's been taking a lot of my time and attention and stuff. I am gonna be trying to get out, but FOMO though. Yeah, I get it. But a lot of the stuff, like a lot of the stuff doesn't, like you can still do well, I guess a lot of the events do require you have to be caught up for some of the events. Yeah, never mind. That's not a legitimate strategy. I mean, I guess it is, but you would still miss out on some events. What if they did a really cool multiplayer game and I couldn't play it because I have to do Fontaine? You mean like Zenless Zone or something? I wonder if that's gonna have co-op elements to it, or if that's gonna be like all single player. That feels like a good game for them to incorporate some co-op stuff, like more co-op stuff. Like Zenless Zone, you could have like big raid boss fights or something. No, like Wind Trace or something, but new. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the issue with it. Oh well. But yeah, I'm still not used to Star Rail. I've talked about it a bit. I just don't like the game that much. Like I like the story a lot, but the rest of the game doesn't appeal to me. So I haven't really developed the same interest. I haven't played it like at all, to be honest, since the first, like I think I played it for like a week and a half or so, and then I really haven't even logged in after the first 2 weeks that I played it. I stopped at like Trailblazer rank 32 or something like that. It didn't grab me, which is okay. I kind of expected it not to grab me, to be honest. I'll gotcha it out. Well, see, you know, this is kind of weird because people consider me to be like probably a gotcha shill or like something like that, because I defend Genshin. But like Genshin was my first gotcha game, and I don't even like gotcha. Like I don't prefer my game to be gotcha. For Genshin, I love the game so much that I felt like dealing with it. Like I felt like, okay, I'll deal with this gotcha system. Like that's fine. And then the more I learned about it, the more I realized that like, oh, this is more of like a resource management system. Like in some other gotcha games, it's very unfair. Free-to-play players don't stand a chance. You can't even beat the game, that kind of stuff. And my experience with Genshin has been like, oh, hey, you know, like if you manage your resources, you can acquire the characters you want, and it takes time, but that's, you know, that's fine as long as you play the game continuously and stuff. You'll get there. The reason we all play Genshin gambling. I don't even see. I don't really like the gacha part of it. Like if you guys notice, like I don't really hype up my summoning sessions too much. I usually just do it and get it over with. And you know, like I get excited and stuff. And of course, like you know, it's an exciting time. But yeah, it's more or less just a system that I deal with. I don't care for it. So like the fact that Star Rail is gacha doesn't excite me. Like I don't care. Like when I had a good pull in Star Rail, I wasn't like losing my mind over it, because if I don't care about the game, then why would I care about the gacha? Does that make sense? Like I could have like the best pulls in the world, but like if I don't care about the game, like the gacha itself doesn't, like, I don't care. I feel like I've gotten to a point with Genshin that it feels like I get up, I shower, I come to work, I work all day, I go home, I go to sleep and repeat. Oh, okay. It feels like sort of like just like a daily chore or whatever. Yeah. I really do feel like at the point I'm at in Genshin, I have so much investment in my account that like progression doesn't feel like, you know, when you first start playing Genshin and you're like really trying to grind it out, like letting your resin cap feels like a cardinal sin. Like it feels like the worst thing in the world that you could possibly ever do. But like at the point that I'm at, it really doesn't matter. Like I've spent so much resin already. I have so many characters already built. Everything I'm doing is just extra. And so it doesn't make me feel bad when I like miss a day of resin or whatever. You know what I mean? And for me, it makes me feel less like it's like a chore a little bit because I don't feel bad for not grinding. But when you're early on, it definitely does feel like you really need to be doing that stuff very continuously to progress. It's really bad that I'm not enjoying it anymore. I can't leave my account because I've invested so much, including Dolphin Worth of which, well, again, that's kind of where it's kind of where I come back to like, do what you feel like doing. Like, I know that you kind of asked chat like when you should come back, but you know, just do what you feel like doing. Like I didn't feel like doing quests for like 6 months after I finished the Sumeru Archon quest and I got through the big main chunk of it. I just really didn't feel like continuing because I felt pretty burnt out on quest. Like, I mean, it was like an 8-hour movie of Sumeru, and I mean, I loved it, but it was a lot. It's a lot to learn. It's a lot to take in. That's a lot. And so it kind of burned me out on doing quests, and I didn't feel like doing them for like 6 months, and that's okay. It's all right. Like, I don't feel like that's really inherently bad, and it wouldn't have been good if I had forced myself to do it. You know, like you kind of have to, I feel like if you accept that you might never play the game ever again, then when you do play it again, how do I say it? It's like, if I accept that I could quit Genshin, then I don't feel, God, how do I say it? Like I think a lot of people, the attachment is the thing that causes the pain. The feeling like you have to play the game. Like if you can conquer the feeling of having to play the game, then I think it removes a lot of that stress and pressure, and it lets you enjoy things a little more. It's weird because I never personally experienced Genshin Impact burnout. It takes so little out of my day. It feels like watering a plant every day, if that makes sense. Yeah, I agree. I feel like there's a reason why I haven't burned out from Genshin dailies and stuff, where in other games I have. Like Punishing Grey Ravens, even. That game was just a little too much on the daily grind for me. A lot of games, Lost Ark, I burned out on that one because the daily grind was just too boring, and I just couldn't stick with it. Too much. But yeah, Genshin definitely is a smaller time requirement. I just think that like there's a lot of people who hit a point where like, even if it's only 10 minutes, if it's 10 minutes of them doing something that's not fun, they don't want to do it. And then doing that 10 minutes feels like a 10-minute chore instead of and I understand where like for a lot of people, some people have different tolerance for that. Some people are going to experience that and be like, whatever, like I'll just do it, like it's fine. And then some people are going to be like, yeah, but that's 10 minutes every day that I got to do this thing. And it sort of creates this like pressure that they don't want. Yeah, I always like to have games where like I like to have a game at all times where there's no daily system, there's no weekly system. Like for me, like Project Zomboid or something like that, there's no like, it's I just get on and I just play the game. And I like having games like that because it's really no BS. Like you just get on, you just do what you want to do, and that's the end of it. There's no like incentive of like, oh, but if you kill 100 more zombies, then you unlock this skin, or Um, oh, also, I saw Remsert pop in with an emote. I am getting some emotes reworked. So we will have some reworked Caspian emotes very soon. And I'm looking forward to that. Thanks to Jess for hooking us up with some remastered emotes. Remastered. Burnout from Call of Duty, but Valorant has been if I feel like it today. So I just uninstalled that one. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, Jess is able, like, so that heart emo right there, it's like really small. On my end, it's hard to see. So Jess has been working with the new emotes to try to make them a little bit easier to distinguish and stuff. Because like the size that you uploaded in, it actually shrinks it from the original size that you uploaded in. So you have to plan ahead a little bit there. Yeah, that'll be cool. I'm glad that we'll be having some new emotes added in, freshen things up a bit. Also, I did want to say this as well. I've started having Axolotl send out actual tweets on my Twitter. So like rather than just my Twitter being an update, like me just posting my content or whatever, I'm also going to post like polls and stuff like that on my Twitter. So if you guys want to engage with that stuff, it would help me out with like getting more eyes on oh my god, there's so much sweat that is unbelievable. I am like one of the sweatiest people on this planet. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I do. I used to, like when I was younger, I went to a professional dermatologist and I got prescription strength antiperspirant, and that did not work. So it's unstoppable. It's like a river of it's like a hydrant geyser blasting out any barrier, preventing like it's unstoppable. That's a lot of armpits. I know, it's insane. Like when I used to go to school, wearing backpacks was hell on earth because I would literally like drip sweat from like my arms because backpacks made me so sweaty. I hate it, but it's my nervous system is like really active, and so I think it just makes me sweat a lot. Speaking about grind, I've been on the end game grind of Monster Hunter Rise. Oh, nice. Making different weapon builds. Hard carrying my friends until the next title update in June. So they're still continuing to support that game. That's interesting. What do the updates usually add? Just more monsters, more stuff to do. Your Twitter is suspended. Oh. I don't really use Twitter, but I think it's important to like try to outreach as much as possible. So if I post a poll and it gets some visibility, maybe I get a sub from that or something. I don't know. More monsters and harder monsters. Some quality of life stuff. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good, I mean, that sounds like exactly what you need for a Monster Hunter game. Screw Twitter, honestly. Yeah. To be honest, like I don't use social media. Like I use Discord, but I don't use Reddit. Well, I mean, like if I'm Googling something, I might use Reddit, but like I don't use Reddit. I don't use Twitter. I don't use TikTok. I don't use any of that stuff. So I'm very off the social media grid, and I like it that way. I feel much more stable in my emotional health. I find that social media is too like I could get on Twitter and see something that could make me just super upset. And honestly, I don't need some random person ruining my day. Like I don't care enough about someone who wants to ruin my day to let them ruin my day. You know what I mean? Like they don't deserve space in my brain. So I'm just like, meh. I have a Minecraft server in development. I honestly just need more people to join because I have a Discord and everything is dead at the moment because I turned it off to shift. Oh, okay. Made a Twitter account back in 2014, barely used it. Yeah, like I used to have a Twitter account, but I don't even have that anymore because Well, other than the YouTube one, I never used it. Yeah, I never really felt like it was. I understand that people view it like the town square, so to speak, for Twitter is like sort of what it was supposed to be for people. But I feel like Twitter sort of just turned into this like terminally online cesspool of people who refuse to touch grass, and so they have absolutely zero perspective on what is actually important and what is horribly unimportant. And it's caused a lot of people to like, I feel like Twitter has caused a lot of division, because Twitter allows people to ruminate on extremely menial differences that normally don't affect anything. Like, people will block each other over differences of political opinion. Sometimes are important, but a lot of the times political opinions are very much just opinions, and we shouldn't hate each other over it. And so like, I don't know. It's hard to. I don't want to get into the nitty gritty there, because there's a lot of extremism in politics nowadays. So there are political positions that are untenable and dangerous, but I just think there's like, Twitter has just really caused a lot of problems for people. Hey, Ice Emperor. Pog, 13 months. Look at that. Follow Flo on Twitter at FloCat7. Yeah. Feel free to follow me if you wanna do the helping with the Twitter thing. And yeah, I posted a poll about Carrara on there, so you can. I mean, I don't make it to seem like a promotion, but I would love to have a Minecraft player from this community, to be honest. Yeah, no, absolutely. And you're like, Mark, you are active in my community. Like, you come in, you chat. Like, you don't just pop in and spam links or anything. So like, I'm not gonna. You're more than welcome to ask people if they want to, you know, play some Minecraft with you. Like, that's a-okay with me. You can even ask about it. Well, we have a games general channel in my Discord. You're more than welcome to even ask about it there if you'd like. I'm totally not against people promoting what they care about in my community. I just don't want people to use me as a springboard for their own success. You know what I mean? Like, if as long as people aren't using and abusing it, it's sort of, you know, that kind of thing. How good is Carrara now? I think she's pretty good. I think that she's at C0, she's a really good unit, to be honest. Like, very pick up and play. I think there's a little bit of complexity to her kit too, which helps a lot. Like, if you want to get her maximum shield strength, you got to like hold the E, hit the enemy 3 times with the box, and then kick them. And you get a little extra energy from doing that too. And, you know, there's some good stuff there. You wanted her to be a bow character, not gonna lie. I could actually see that. Like, yeah, I think she would have been cool as a bow character, but the weapon options that she has available with swords are pretty good. Like, having Jade Cutter as an option for her is really nice. Also, having Freedom Sworn as an option for her is really good. You know, for free to play, you do have like Iron Sting and some other things if you want to try to mess around with her elemental mastery capabilities. Like, I like that her kit has a good spread of support plus burst damage, plus I mentioned earlier that her Dendro application is not general, it's specific. She's not constantly applying Dendro. She only applies Dendro when you make her apply Dendro, which can be really useful for certain team archetypes. Like, I was playing Carrara with Yoimiya, and Carrara wasn't like applying so much Dendro that I was unable to get vapes and stuff going. I was able to play like an over vape team with Yoimiya. Kokomi and Fischl were allowing me to vape and overload, but then I was also able to get some blooms, some hyper blooms, as well as some aggravate damage with my Carrara when my Yoimiya was on cooldown. So it was like a really good combination. It was really good. I felt really good about it. Her shield capabilities are like Layla and Toma's, so pretty good, I'd say. Yeah, she's got really strong shield. You can even use Sacrificial Sword if you don't want to do the hold thing. You can just like double tap. But I feel like it's, you know, it's pretty good kit. I was surprised to see that she actually generates a decent amount of energy. I'm glad to see that. I feel like I got bored of Minecraft due to me not knowing how to build, let alone having the motivation to build nice things, because building is a majority part of the game. Yeah, building can be a big part of Minecraft. I feel like as time has gone on, they've added more survival elements, and you can really lean into that with like custom game modes and stuff like that, as far as I know. So the game itself is pretty flexible. But like, to be honest, like my feelings about Minecraft is that I played too much of it. Like I played thousands of hours of it, and at this point, it just makes me feel like I have a struggle just playing the. It's kind of like, for me, it's like Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead is still a really fun game, and Left 4 Dead is still one of the best co-op shooters. But I can't play Left 4 Dead anymore. I've played thousands of hours of Left 4 Dead, and even thinking about it just makes me want to throw up in my mouth. That's just sort of like it's just sort of how I feel about it. But I do appreciate that Minecraft has continued to grow and expand, and it's still a very great game to play. You just got Yoimiya? Congratulations, by the way, Wolf Warrior. That's awesome. It feels like I could extend the enjoyment of my game if I could build. Yeah, and that's one of those things where, like, you know, maybe you're not naturally into base building, and if you're not, then it's sort of one of those things that's hard to get into. I get it. You and your buddy are currently doing a playthrough of Left 4 Dead 2. Yeah, classic. There's still amazing games like Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead 2, still just amazing games. But God, I played more Left 4 Dead than I need to have played in my life, and I think I should leave it there. Takes a while for you to edit it though. Yeah, I can imagine. Those missions are pretty long. Like each mission is pretty decently sized. So those are long playthrough sessions for the campaigns. The city has been building for over 4 years, mainly built by me and 2 to 3 other contributing members. Wow, that's awesome. It's alright, I used to be like that, but I found it easier to base build off of real life buildings, but if it's hardest to understand, it would take me a while. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Like base things off of real structures, so you're not really like coming up with it off the top of your head and trying to come up with. Yeah, like some of the base building can be really creative, but it's like hard to think like that out of the box. I really hope I don't get Chi-Chi again. It's more like I'm not good at thinking of things to edit in to make the video, you know, not boring to watch. Yeah. Understandable. I also understand. People's attentions are very limited nowadays, and people tend to just click off very quickly if their attention starts to lapse. You know, very few people will click on for entire videos. That's why I really appreciate everyone that watches my content like more continuously, like people that stay really tuned into my stuff. Like I super appreciate that people are giving time to me like that. Like that's really, thank you. Well, thank you very much. Cat is being a loaf. That's the best kind of cat. Cat loaf. Gotta love that. Today, what I was gonna do after stream is record my Artifact Strongbox session, and then I was going to chop that up and try to make a video, like my weekly update video, out of that. So I will have like footage from my Artifact Strongbox, and I will, you know, use that as the B-roll. I'll go through what I got and stuff, but then I can continue on to talk about. Well, I guess I really didn't do anything in Genshin this week, to be honest. Didn't do a heck of a lot, so I probably should just stick with the Artifact Strongbox video. I want to try to get the videos out on like a Sunday, but they've been kind of consistently late for the past couple weeks, and I don't know, maybe I should just release them on Mondays. Like maybe that should just be the release day. Because that's been that's kind of how it's all shaken out so far. Ah, yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I have been talking for 2 hours. Wow. Just chatting streams go by very fast. Kind of weirdly enough, they go by faster than when I'm playing a game. Like, I feel like when I'm playing a game, it's almost a little harder to go for as long. As long as you have something to talk about, I suppose. If you run out of stuff to talk about, then I'm sure it's rough. Hey, Fred. How you doing, Fred? He was napping. Now he's getting the pets. You're a good boy. I hope he doesn't get super stressed out when I move, but he probably will. You literally just said that when Ayaka said you've been improving significantly or something. Oh, that's funny. You're gonna have to go do college orientation stuff. It was nice chatting with you. Oh yeah, have a good one. Good luck with all that. That's fun. I remember my college orientation. What an interesting time that was. Come here, Fred. Yeah, jump up. Here, let's... Give me it. Oh God, where I put my hand is like so dirty. Don't look at that. Just look at Fred. Hello, Cryocar. I have a Freddy. Yes. You're looking at it. Whoa. Yeah. I need to like swap out the tape on the padding. Oh, he just farted. You son of a gun. Ugh. Why do you do this? Okay, the fan blew it away. But he wants down. That's literally what he wanted to do. He wanted to jump up, fart on me, and leave. That's what he wanted. That was his modus operandi. That was his entire agenda. That's called cat terrorism right there. He just, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. That was his one goal. Yes. Yes, he had one goal, and that was it. The toot and run. Exactly. Exactly. Unbelievable. Showing his love, right? So yeah, I am gonna try to get a video out tonight. That's gonna be pretty fun. I shouldn't be too bad. Like literally just record my artifacts section, strongbox session, and then edit that all out and then get it up on the internets and whatnot and things and stuff. I've just been having a hard time getting the video started because I've been doing so much other stuff with the house hunting that like I haven't had the energy for it. That being said, I think I can get it done. I think I can get it done. So I will. I will. Oh, Freddy, are you back? Are you back to fart on me some more? Yeah. Oh my God, he's literally coming back. What, you want back up on my lap? After the toot and run? Rude. You have smelly farts and your cat has smelly breaths. You want to come up, Fred? Okay. Guess not. Yeah. In the house, when we get the house, I'm so excited to put up like cat shelves for them to like climb up the walls and like be able to walk around and do all that stuff. I love that stuff. I'm very excited to be able to do that for Fredster. Cat scratched you on the right knee so many times. Oh, that's not good. Yeah. Did you want to come up here, Fred? Okay. He's gonna walk away. Yeah, apparently he's just gonna walk away. Well, if I am going to get a video out, I probably shouldn't stream for like forever much longer. We can keep going for a little bit, but I should try to put a cap on this stream at some point. Now I have cat hair all over my face because I touched my face after touching Freddy. Yeah, if I'm gonna get a video done, I will have to stop streaming at some point so that I can get the video done. But I also could have done it this weekend, which I didn't because I was busy doing other stuff. So that do be how it is. That do be how it is. I noticed, I don't know why I didn't think about this, but I noticed that I haven't been putting actual descriptions in my videos. Like in like 5 years. I haven't, like, it's literally been like I just stopped doing that. And I feel like that actually helps you in the algorithm when you put like in your description, like the first little bit of it there, if you type like a little paragraph or something. So I should probably be doing that. Yeah, I guess I'll make sure to do that. Let me go ahead and put one in there. Let's go ahead and just type a little description. Just chatting about the future and stuff and things. Also, there is mention of the stuff and also some discussions about things that are relevant to the stuff. I do put hashtags in my descriptions, but yeah. I like, you're supposed to type like a little, like if you notice a lot of YouTubers, they'll type like in the very front of the description, they'll be like, this video is about this and this and this and this and this. And I think that also can show up in the, like I think the algorithm can search for things in your description. So it can broaden your search metrics. What happens to the stand that Freddy usually sleep in the background? Oh, okay. There's a cat tower. You can't, it's like behind this cube. You can sort of see it. You can see one ledge of it where the behind the electro slime. But we're gonna need more cat towers for the new house, for sure. It's a big place. It's 4 bedrooms, but there are two additional rooms plus a study, so it's more like a 6-bedroom house. It's very big. Well, not super big, but it's pretty big. Big enough for me because I'm a homebody. I don't ever like to leave my house. I like to stay inside where I'm safe. No, I go to the store and stuff, but like I'm really a homebody. I like to spend a lot of time at home, so I want to have a nice home. It's worth shelling out for it. Yeah. These sparkling waters are so good. I don't drink soda, so it's like the only way that I can experience carbonation. Yep. Yep. Well, I've run out of things to say. Slowly freezing to death. I hope you're not. That would be unfortunate. That would be unfortunate. What's up, Fred? You wanna come up? You wanna come up? No? Okay. That's fine. Oh, do you want to come up? No? Okay. That's fine. He's acting like he wants to jump up, but then he won't. You gonna do it? Do it. I believe in you. You can do it. Here he goes. You're gonna get some water? Do it. Get you some water. Okay. Nope. I can't. Yeah, he had to do advanced calculus to. Surprisingly, you don't have much urge to gacha and Star Rail, even for the next banner. Yeah, I don't really care. I didn't even really care when they announced the new banners. I was like, okay. All right. Stealing chocolates. Nice. What do you want, Fred? What are you doing? Fred? Why are you sniffing everything on my desk? What are you doing? Okay, don't you want... Okay. Your Trailblaze level 46. Oh, wow. Congratulations. And now this is what the stream has become. It's a Freddy stream. Yes. The good boy. The good boy. The good boy. Who's my stinky boy? Who's my stinky boy? You're my stinky boy. Level 16. That's okay. I made it a little bit farther, but honestly not much farther. Struggling with materials on Star Rail. Oh no. Oh no. He lets me get so affectionate with him. He just deals with it. He's like, all right. All right. You're gonna give me a bunch of smooches on my head. But I'm also scritching his chin, and he loves it. Oh, he's over it. Oh, now he's just gonna sit. Oh, what? What are you doing? You want down? Rude. Okay. Fine. Fine. Whatever. It's cool. It's all right. It's no problem whatsoever. None whatsoever. So close to getting Yoimiya. Congratulations. Good luck. Oh my gosh. Freddy left so much hair all over me. Oh no. I am covered. I am covered in cat hair. Absolutely destroyed. Now it's a little better. But now my nose is really itchy. Fluffy boy, yes. Yes, indeed. Shedding boy. I think he's starting to lose his winter coat because it's been consistently warm. So he been shedding. He been shedding. Yeah. Yes. Yes, indeed. Now he's licking his butt. Oh my gosh, he left hair all over my keyboard. He just dropped like a fur bomb on me. Oh well. So how's everybody doing? How's it going? What's it coming and going? I'm actually gonna go like wash my hands and stuff and try to get some more of this fur off. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. How's Tears of the Kingdom? Yeah, so this past week I haven't been able to play like at all, unfortunately. I haven't played like any games this past week because of the house purchasing and stuff. But it's still an amazing game. I still am very much looking forward to finishing it and doing all that. Very much looking forward to that. Just things are going to be pretty chaotic for a while. So, yeah. I'm happy with the game. I haven't beaten the story yet, so like, I feel like I'm like a good chunk through the story, and I haven't decided if I'm disappointed or not. Like, I like the story. I just feel like, in general, I won't spoil anything, but it doesn't feel like the story is very well connected to past Zelda games. Like, it's connected to Breath of the Wild, but I'm kind of curious at this point in the game if they're trying to do like a reboot with Tears of the Kingdom. Like, I feel like they're almost trying to like, they're trying to, I don't know. Like, there are certain themes that are in almost every Zelda game that are not in Tears of the Kingdom. And it makes me wonder if they're trying to do like a series reboot where they're gonna like sort of abandon the underlying lore and try to maybe move away from it or something. I don't know what their plans are. I'm a little confused as to what they're planning for the story. So I don't know. I don't know what they're planning on doing. I'm interested to see after I beat the game and everything. I'm interested to see the whole thing in perspective, to see how much of the original lore of Legend of Zelda is like contained within it, because it does feel almost entirely like a reboot in combination with Breath of the Wild, which like a reboot for game mechanics I understand, but the lore in Legend of Zelda was pretty good. So I don't know. I hope they don't retcon a bunch of stuff and like change the original lore and like invalidate prior games. That's what I'm scared of. But he would sleep, but he hasn't come off of Roblox and he's online not playing it. That's funny. Gamers do be doing that though. They're like, I'll sleep. It's that song again. I can't even hear it. Oh my gosh. What is this? It seriously reminds me of like an old cartoon. And I don't know why I keep this in my playlist. Like, why don't I just delete it? It's there to sabotage me. I'm not gonna listen to it. I refuse. I refuse. It isn't from an old cartoon? It might be. It certainly sounds like it, but I got it from Epidemic Sound. I feel like I have to keep it at this point. Yeah. It's basically just a meme where every time it pops up, it throws me for a loop. It destroys my brain and crumbles all thought before me. Hey, Big Red. Deja vu samsara. That's so funny. Yeah, we're stuck in a samsara of me eternally shocked that that song exists in my playlist and still doing nothing about it day after day. It's so true. So true. So people that haven't been here for as long, I feel like most people here, I don't know how many people here caught the gist of what I was talking about earlier, but essentially this whole stream is for me to talk about the fact that I'm buying a house and it's moving very quickly, and it's kind of why I've been inconsistent this past week or two. And yeah, it's going to be it's going to be good for my channel, because I will have, once I move, I will have my own space. I'll have my own studio, a whole room that I can use for streaming and making videos and doing that kind of stuff, which I'm very much looking forward to. But it's going to be a transition period, obviously, so there will be some missed streams, some missed things, but in the long term I'll be able to have a more flexible streaming schedule. I will be able to make videos easier with less complications, and they'll be a higher quality. I'll be able to, like, you know, have my own studio space, so I shouldn't have any complications with you know, decorate it however I want, paint it however I want. I've lived in rentals my whole life, so this is my first time trying to be a homeowner, and I'm looking forward to it. Very excited not to have to rent anymore. But yeah, it got started on the process a couple weeks ago, and it has been moving fast. So yes, if you want to hear the full shakedown of what went on, you can watch the earlier parts of the stream. But I went into more detail earlier about the whole situation and what's been going on. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited. It's crazy to think that, like, before the weekend I didn't even have, like, it's just crazy how fast it's moving. Saw a house, was like, this one, and then the seller was like, okay, and then we're like, oh, okay. I don't know. It's moving so fast. It feels like such a big deal, but it's also like, it's just moving at a breakneck speed. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you. I'm very excited. Have like a forever home, or at least a home until I get old enough to feel like downsizing. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the room in particular. I haven't like come up with specific ideas for like what color I'm gonna paint it, or like how I'm gonna do my decorations, or like whatever. I can't remember what the window situation is, because the room I'm gonna be using is in the basement, and I think there are windows in that room, but I can't remember how good the lighting is. Soundproofing, like the sound should be pretty good. It should be a good time. It should be a good time. But yeah. Oh yeah. I apologize for canceling streams though, and I apologize for missing some videos. Appreciate you guys sticking it out with me. Yeah. I know I'm not the most consistent YouTuber in the world, but I'm trying. I do be trying. I do be. Purple accent wall. Interesting. Not a bad idea. I'm okay with a cream. I'm not okay with white. I've lived in so many like rentals, like having white walls. I'm so sick of white walls. But I'm okay with a cream color, and a purple accent sounds good. Like maybe like a I'll have to think about that. Good night, everyone. Take care. Best of luck with the house. Thank you. Yeah, I should be in that. I mean, probably within a couple months I'll be moving into the new house, and maybe even sooner than that, honestly, with how fast everything is going. It's pretty nutty. But have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you chatting and hanging out and doing all that fun stuff. All right, so it's been about 2.5 hours. I don't know exactly what to talk about at this point. If you guys have something to talk about, I'm all ears. Or if you have any questions or anything, I'm all ears. But other than that, maybe we could start winding down the stream here. I do really want to get my Artifact Strongbox session done today. I want to try to get that video out tonight. There's a new game in closed beta called Project Snow. It's an anime game with third-person shooting. You're looking forward to it? Oh, let me Google that real quick. Let me goggle that real fast. No. Was it renamed Snowbreak? So it's the people that made some other game, Snowbreak. Containment Zone. If you're freezing, oh, well, I was gonna say blankets. Here, I'm gonna mute it, but I'm gonna watch a video. Just gonna skim through real quick. Okay, it kind of looks like interesting. It doesn't look terrible. The gameplay looks not bad for like a mobile shooter. Yeah, it kind of does look like your traditional third-person shooter, but you have like an ultimate or like skills or stuff that you can use. And yeah, that's not terrible. Oh, that's a cool skill. Yeah, so it's sort of like, it's like action combat, third person action shooter, where you would like, it's like Mass Effect, where you're shooting guns, but you also have like skills and stuff. That doesn't look bad. It's like mission based things. Some cutscenes or something. The environments look a little boring. I mean, not that that's like, I guess, a huge deal for a game like this. It's kind of like an RPG shooter, though. My biggest issue with RPG shooters is that, like, you can have, like, you know, if your gun is under leveled, the enemies can feel like bullet sponges. I'm not really seeing a ton of that here, but also, like, you know, I don't know. It's probably very early in the game. It looks okay. Anyone watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine? I love that show. So yeah, Snowbreak looks okay. Like the shooting and everything for a third-person mobile game looks pretty okay. You've just been basically playing Star Rail lately. I haven't, God, this past week, like every time I went and got on my computer and wanted to play a game, I sat there and like stared at my computer for like 20 minutes. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm just too tired. Like I feel like if I get on my computer and I'm just staring at my list of games, just like have no motivation to play, like, oh well. So yeah. Understandable. Yeah. I've also I've stopped after you keep drinking empty can. No, it's now empty. Now it's empty. There's actually one little sip left. Now it's empty. Oh, yeah. I may, like I mentioned, start wrapping up stream a little bit. I don't know what else to really talk about, and I do need to go record that video. And yeah, so that's probably gonna be what we do for today and stuff and things. Sure. Unless anyone has anything else they want to talk about. I'm thinking like Lincoln. I'm gonna start wrapping it up. Your hair is cool. Thanks. I try really hard. I love my hair. It's so great. You see it being hair and how beautiful it is. I love it. So anyway, thanks everybody that was here. And if you watched it as a VOD, thank you as well. Thanks for the likes. I appreciate you all. And I will try to be back. What is today? Today's Monday. I'll try to be back tomorrow with a Genshin stream, but I'm gonna mostly try to get this video out tonight. There's a good potential of a stream. No, actually tomorrow might not be good because I do have a lot I gotta do tomorrow for the house. So I may end up not streaming tomorrow, but I am definitely going to try to get this video out tonight since I have the time right now to do it. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, you're welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you all. And until next time, stay healthy. Stay hydrated. A peace. Goodbye. See you later. Adios.